Target hardening. Why people get targeted by muggers and attackers. Criminals very, 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 very rarely will just grab someone by the by. If it's a mugging, they will watch you. That's why I use the word predators, because that's what they are. They're predators, they're looking for the weakest prey. In today's society, the weakest prey is usually the person who's completely switched off. It's someone who isn't paying attention to their surroundings. It's someone who doesn't look like they've got it in them to fight back. Your body language tells you everything about this. There's a video out there from years ago. It was on the BBC. It was one of the first clips I saw of the brilliant Lee Morrison, where they get a whole bunch of people to walk around a room. They do it as thermal imaging, and they ask a bunch of security experts, just based off these people walking around a room, who's a target, who's not. If I can find the clip, I'll link it in on this. Basically, if you're walking along, shuffling your feet like you don't want to be there, head down, oh God, I wish I was dead, you're going to be targeted. If you're walking straight, shoulders back, chest out, head up, keeping an eye on everything around you as you go, you're probably not going to be targeted. If you have that confidence, it's not being aggressive. It's not walking doing the bodybuilder. Yeah, well, I do. Look at me. I've got 2 carpets under my arms. It's not that. That's just making you look like a tit. But it's walking brisk pace. You know where you're going. Got all the confidence in the world. You're not going to be targeted. If you've got your hood up, earphones in, you will be targeted. Because what you've done is you've just taken away 2 of your senses. Headphones in, you can't hear me coming up to you. If you've got the hood up, you've put blinkers on. So you've now got no peripheral vision. So I can get right alongside you, and you won't know about it because you haven't heard me and you haven't seen me. The great thing about the hood as well is, by hitting the hood, if I do cut you, it's not going to splatter on me, it's going to absorb into your hood, which is another great way for me to get away without being collared for it. If you are on your phone walking, and you're completely engaged in your phone, and you're not aware of people crossing you, and it can be seen because you'll just walk through people, and you won't be aware of other people trying to walk in another direction. This is what a criminal will notice, and they'll come for you. If you use your phone, and you're walking along with your phone on speaker, hold out in front of you, then you deserve to get mugged. Because A, you're presenting your phone in front of you. It's not even like it's gripped to you. You're literally walking, my phone, take it. And B, nobody wants to hear your private life. Nobody wants to hear your conversation. Right? Take it off fucking speakerphone, put it to your ear. Okay? It's a pet peeve of mine that people walk around. If you see someone walking around with the phone out on speakerphone, join in the conversation. Serious, do it. Don't really do it because you'll just get into fights. But it's these little things that will make you a harder target. So a criminal will look for things almost like a list, and the more of those things on the list you can check off, the better you'll be. So if you imagine you're driving, when you drive, it's the Cooper color code, you're in code yellow. So you're alert, you're aware of what's going on around you. White is completely switched off. It's when you're at home, the doors and windows are locked, and you're falling asleep in front of the TV. Orange is, I'm pretty sure something's about to happen, and I want to have my wits around me so that if it does, I can see it and get away. Red is, the guy's here and we're swinging. Right? So if you imagine code yellow is how you are when you're driving. You don't expect someone to crash into you, but you're keeping your wits about you just in case they do. That's how you should be when you're walking, when you're out and about. Code yellow. I'm not going to, become anxious about it. I'm not going to fill myself with anxiety. I'm not going to have an adrenaline dump that completely messes me up. But I'm aware. I'm going to do little things like I'm going to sit with my back to a wall if I can. I'm going to sit facing the door if I can. Just little things like that. I'm not going to leave my phone, my keys and whatever on the table. If I have got my wallet in my jacket, I'm not going to leave my jacket over the chair with the wallet just barely hanging out of the pocket. Just little things like that. being aware of who is around me, being aware of what is around me. Imagine if you were taken on a tour of a construction site during the day when people are still working, you'd be alert, you'd be waiting for something just in case something falls on you, in case someone comes at you, in case something flies at you, whatever. This is where you should be. It makes you a harder target. So it's not necessarily about becoming a hard target. It's not about the training you do physically. It's about the mental aspect of, I'm not going to be switched off. I'm not going to be completely oblivious to everything around me. This does kind of go back to don't get too drunk. If you're absolutely hammered, you're not aware of anything going on around you. I remember a while ago there was one guy that I kicked out. He was drunk. He literally walked out of the front door, walked around a pillar. As he'd walked around the pillar, he came back. He thought he'd gone onto another street because he'd gone around a wall. He came back to me and tried to get back in. I went, I've just kicked you out. No, you haven't. So he was so drunk that he wasn't aware that that pillar was not crossing onto another street or going around a corner onto another street. That guy would have had absolutely no chance had someone decided to mug him. At all. So again, he made himself a really, really easy soft target because he was so drunk. When you're so drunk, you don't know where you are, you can barely stand up, you haven't got the verbal skills to say no or to call for help, you don't have the physical skills to fight back. I'm not telling people don't go and get drunk. I'm just saying there's certain things that the bad guys look for. Make sure you don't exhibit those things that the bad guys look for. Simple as that. Don't walk around with all your jewelry on display. Don't tell people how much your jewelry costs. A lot of this was covered in the general safety videos, but I think it's worth going over just in case this is the first video you've seen. Be switched on. Don't wear clothing that you can barely move in. Don't wear clothing that you're spilling out of. Think if you were going to attack somebody, what would you look for? If you put yourself in the bad guy's shoes and think, right, what person would I go for here? Who would I mug? I'm gonna mug the person who's got all their wealth on display. I'm gonna mug the person who doesn't look like they're paying attention. I'm gonna mug the person who looks like they don't think they're worth defending, which is a big thing. Which the mentality of self-defense, where a lot of people go, I don't think I'd fight back. You would. It's becoming a harder target. It's making it harder for the bad guys. The bad guys, the criminals, don't want to work. The easier it is for them, the more likely they are to do it. If you've got two cars, and one is a brand new Ferrari, and the other next to it is a 25-year-old Rover, but the Rover's got its front door open, it's got the keys in the ignition and the engine going, the bad guys are going to take the Rover because it's easier for them. They might not get anywhere as near as much as they can for the Ferrari. It's not going to be as fun to joyride in as the Ferrari, but the Ferrari's locked. It's got a state-of-the-art alarm. It might electrocute you if you grab the handle, whatever. But they're going to go for the easy path. So as long as you make sure that you're not the easy path, you increase your chances of staying safe. And staying safe is what it's all about. Staying safe is what reality-based urban defense is all about. Staying safe is what I kind of teach people. So again, any questions, suggestions or comments, please let me know. Please do like and share the video, and always be vigilant.